The war between humans and the Alpha Dominion had lasted 17 years. 17 years of burning planets. 17 years of broken treaties. 17 years of bodies drifting in space like forgotten dust. And humanity was losing. Badly. The Alpha Dominion was faster, stronger, and far more advanced. Their warships didn't just destroy fleets, they erased entire regions of space like deleting files. So when Earth Command finally gave the order, nobody was surprised. But everyone was terrified. Deep inside a hidden military base, technician Riley Kane stood in front of a sealed launch bay. She wasn't a soldier. She wasn't a pilot. She wasn't even supposed to be here. Riley was a mechanic, a ship engineer, the person who fixed broken engines, not entered battlefields. But the Alpha Dominion had developed a new command node, an energy core controlling their entire forward fleet. And Earth had one chance to destroy it. One infiltration mission. One suicide run. And they needed someone small enough to slip inside unnoticed. That's why they chose her. Because mechanics knew machines. And machines were the only thing keeping Riley alive right now. Commander approached her. You understand the mission? Riley nodded slowly. Plant the overload charge, and escape if possible. The commander looked away. No one expects escape. Silence. Then Riley tightened her gloves. Then stop saying escape. She walked toward the ship. No one survives anyway. The infiltration ship launched silently into deep space. Inside, Riley sat alone surrounded by blinking control panels. Her hands shook slightly but not from fear, from memory. Before the war, she used to repair civilian ships, transport vessels, family cruisers. She used to see children traveling with parents between star systems. Now all she repaired were weapons designed to kill. The ship jumped into hyperspace. Destination, Alpha Dominion Core Station. A floating fortress surrounded by hundreds of warships. A place no human had ever returned from. When she arrived, the sight made her freeze. The station was enormous. A glowing black structure orbiting a dead star. Energy shields covered it like layers of glass fire. Defense drones patrolled everywhere. Riley whispered, "This is insane." Her mission AI responded, "Probability of survival, 0.7%. Riley smirked slightly. Generous. She activated stealth systems and moved in. She entered through a maintenance shaft. Because that's what mechanics do. They don't break doors. They fix systems. And sometimes, they slip through them. Inside the station, everything was cold and silent. Metal corridors stretched endlessly. Strange alien symbols glowed softly on the walls. Riley planted her tracking device carefully. Step 1, locate core. Step 2, attach overload charge. Step 3, get out. Simple. At least on paper. Then she heard it. A soft sound. Not mechanical. Not alarmed. Something alive. Riley froze. She turned slowly. A small door nearby was slightly open. Inside, she saw it. A cub. Alien. Small. Weak. Curled up inside a broken containment pod. His body was trembling. Not armored like soldiers. Not dangerous. Just a child. Alpha Dominion children were rare sightings, kept deep within protected zones. But this one was alone. Riley whispered, "No way." The cub lifted its head slowly. Large glowing eyes. Terrified. Alone. A transmission suddenly activated in her earpiece. Warning. Core Guardian signal detected. Riley stiffened. Alpha Elite units were approaching. She had minutes before discovery. She should leave. She should complete the mission. She should ignore it. That's what soldiers would do. But Riley wasn't a soldier. She looked at the cub again. It let out a soft broken sound. Weak. Hungry. Scared. Riley cursed under her breath. This is not part of the mission. Then she made the worst decision of her life. She walked in. The cub flinched immediately. Riley slowly knelt. "Hey, it's okay." The cub didn't understand her language, but it understood tone. She checked the pod. It was damaged. Life support failing. The cub wouldn't survive long. Riley hesitated, then removed her emergency toolkit. She started fixing the pod, because that's what she knew how to do. Machines, systems, life support units. Minutes passed. Then suddenly, alarm. Riley froze. Footsteps. Heavy. Multiple. Elite guards. She looked at the cub, then at the exit. Time was gone. The door exploded open. 3 Alpha Dominion warriors entered. Massive. Armored. Deadly. One of them spoke in harsh alien command language. Riley didn't need translation. She understood one thing. They found her. One warrior raised a weapon. Riley slowly stood. Hands raised. But then, the cub made a sound. A small cry. The warriors froze instantly. One looked inside the pod. Then at Riley. Confusion. Riley whispered, "I didn't steal it." Silence. The cub crawled weakly toward her. And then, it did something impossible. It grabbed her sleeve. Like a child holding onto a parent. The room went dead silent. Even the warriors stopped moving. Because Alpha Dominion cubs did not touch outsiders. Ever. The lead warrior lowered his weapon slightly. Explain. Riley swallowed. "I found it like this." She gestured to the broken life support system. It was dying. The warrior stepped closer. Riley expected execution. Instead, he looked at the cub, then spoke quietly into his communicator. A long silence followed. Then the response came. The warrior froze. His posture changed instantly. Shock. Then something else. Respect. He looked at Riley. "You repaired it." Riley blinked. "Yes." The warrior slowly lowered his weapon completely, then said something she didn't expect. "Alpha Dominion cub. Bonded to you." Riley frowned. "What does that mean?" The warrior hesitated, then answered, "The child has chosen its caretaker imprint." Silence. Riley looked at the cub. It was still holding her sleeve, tightly, like letting go meant death. Then everything escalated. An emergency signal echoed through the station. Core breach detected. Her mission had triggered early defense activation. The entire station began locking down. The warriors immediately turned toward Riley. One spoke urgently. "You must leave." Riley shook her head. "I still have to destroy the core." The warrior stared at her, then at the cub, then said something unexpected. "If you destroy core, cub dies." Riley froze. "What?" The warrior pointed to the pod systems. "The child's lifelink is tied to station core." Riley's breath stopped. That changed everything. Her mission wasn't just difficult now. It was impossible. Destroying the core would kill the cub. Leaving would save it. But doom Earth. For the first time in the war, Riley hesitated. She looked at the cub. Small, vulnerable, completely innocent. Then she whispered, "I'm sorry." She removed the explosive charge from her bag. The warriors tensed. But she didn't activate it. Instead, she modified it. Hands shaking. Fast thinking. Mechanical precision. She rewired the overload system. The warrior narrowed his eyes. "What are you doing?" Riley answered softly. "Saving both." The station began collapsing as defense systems overloaded. Riley carried the cub through burning corridors. Explosions echoed behind them. Warriors followed, but not to attack. To protect her. Because something had shifted. She was no longer an enemy. She was the one holding their child. They reached an escape pod. Riley placed the cub inside carefully. It refused to let go. She whispered, "You'll be safe." The cub made a soft sound, then finally released her sleeve. Riley activated the pod. But before it launched, she paused, then turned back toward the collapsing core. The warriors shouted, "Where are you going?" Riley looked at them once. "I started this mess." Then she ran back inside. Inside the core chamber, energy overload reached critical levels. Riley manually stabilized the system. Seconds remained. Her voice trembled. "Come on. Come on." Then, she succeeded. The core shifted into controlled collapse. Not destruction. Not explosion. But shutdown. The station would die. But slowly. Safely. She turned to leave. But the structure began collapsing faster than expected. A beam fell. Everything went white. Outside the station, the escape pod launched. Inside, the cub screamed. Not from pain. From loss. Because it could feel her. Then suddenly, the station stopped exploding. Simply shut down. Quietly. Like a dying star going to sleep. And moments later, a second escape pod emerged. Damaged. Barely functional. Inside it, Riley Kane. Alive. Barely. When recovery ships arrived hours later, they found something nobody expected. The Alpha Dominion fleet had ceased firing. They were waiting. Not attacking. Waiting. And at the front of the formation, a massive warship sent a single message. To the human mechanic who saved the air. Pause. Then, war is suspended. Weeks later, the war did not restart. Because something had changed. A human mechanic had entered the most dangerous station in the galaxy. Completed her mission. And still chose to save an enemy child. Not because she was ordered. But because she could fix what was broken. Even if it wasn't a machine. And somewhere deep in Alpha Dominion space, a cub slept peacefully for the first time. Holding a small metal tool she left behind. The end. Please follow my channel for more videos. One click from you can change my life.